until January 1st. She wanted to throw the word.
All right, just so everyone knows, I have unmuted Chambers and we are live on YouTube.
All right, thank you. That's all right. All righty. Well, we got one. Keep going. Okay, it's like 5:30 by the clock on the chair over there. So I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call. Lane Daly's here, Andy Dennison here, Mike Didio is here, Tricia Kerr is here, Heidi Nightingale is here, Chris Peters is here, and I'm here. So we have a full quorum. First order of business this morning is I'd like to open a public hearing on the shared service plan. If anybody would like, who is listening on the internet, would like to call in, the number is 315-294-8051. And then I'll repeat the number, it's 315-294-8051. And we'll give that time for anybody that wants to call in on the shared services plan. All righty, with that, minutes to approve.
Move. Second.
I have a motion. Can I get a second? Any discussion on minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. We have no appointments today, so with that, we'll get right into department updates. Denise is on the internet. Hello, Denise.
I am. Good evening. I apologize, but my children, easily change my plans. Boy, oh boy. So you have my report. Just touch base on the training class. We're still holding on to 4 trainees, which is great. They're still in the call taking phase. That's, generally 12-ish weeks. So hopefully by mid to end of December, they should be ready to move on to the next phase, which is dispatching. Generally, what we do once they clear call taking is we'll have them work the call taker position for, maybe a few weeks or a few rotations, just to kind of get their feet wet and let them work independently for a bit. And then they'll each move to a dispatch position. I think we are going to change a little bit of what we do with the training process. Generally, what we do is train them on one dispatch position and put them in the schedule to start working. I think moving forward, we're going to start tackling moving them into each dispatch position so that within the first, say year and a half, they've touched base on each dispatch position. Because what we were finding is we would get somebody trained on say a county law position, and we put them over on fire and they would struggle. And sometimes we were 2 years down the road, and that's just not fair to an employee, and it's probably not operationally the best decision to make. So, I'll keep you updated, monthly on where we are with them, and hopefully we'll keep moving forward with 4 dispatchers. As far as the communication system, I've talked, a lot about the coverage issues in the South. It's been a slow process. I'll be honest, there are so many different facets to the project, and, we're not alone with projects. So, Motorola has been pretty behind on getting us quotes. The initial quote that we got was for the updates to the microwave system. Those are going to be required if we add sites. Some of the equipment that are at the sites today is still maintained by Motorola, but it's end of life. It's like anything else as far as IT wise. I think we talked last month about cell phones. You got to replace them every few years. So, there's equipment that's going to have to be replaced. And that's really going to tack on a big number for this project if we do decide to move forward. But as I have more information, I will keep, updating committee. I do have one resolution, and it's a co-locate with T-Mobile.
I think you have more than one, Denise.
Yeah.
You have 3, Denise.
I'm looking at that right now. Oh, the budget adjustment. Yeah, we have to do the budget adjustment for the grant. We did the PSAP grant last month. This is the SEEK grant. Sorry, I guess I did those early on and completely forgot about them. So the first one is just, that one is just to clean up, honestly, in our budget for the grants that Lynn and I had talked about, and that's the reason that one is there.
Move it.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on JP one? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carried. JP two.
JP2 is just to accept the SEEK grant. We've been talking about that for a few months. That will go predominantly toward maintenance of the communication system. Just want to get back into the habit of doing resolutions to accept them so that we can sign contracts if there are anything associated with them.
All right, JP two, can I get a motion? I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on JP two? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. JP three.
JP3 is to enter into a lease agreement with T-Mobile. This will add revenue to our budget. We have not ironed out the particulars just yet, but we are looking at roughly $3,000 potentially a month for this co-locate. I'm working with a woman from T-Mobile, but we just sent her the land agreement. And once I have more information on that, I can bring that forward, but we need to get a resolution through to continue moving forward with that agreement.
All right, need a motion for JP three. Have a motion, can I need a second? Second by Trish. Any discussion on JP three?
Just,
Hang on, go ahead.
where is this one located, Denise?
This is on Mott Road. This is the IRA Tower site. So it'll help communications up north.
Mike, did you have a comment? Oh, you seconded, okay. All right,
I have a question
Yes.
about, not about your resolutions, just some information that I'm unclear of. You're talking about your 911 dispatchers and they
Mhm.
dispatch 911 calls, but then you're talking about moving them to fire. I don't even know what you're referring to when you move them to fire, because I thought all the calls came in through 911, whether it's a fire emergency or,
Yep, that's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. So
Hold on.
they,
Denise, hang on, let's just finish up this
Okay.
and then we'll
Yep.
go to discussion. All right, I have a motion second. Any other discussion about JP three? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. Okay, now we'll
Yep.
go to Elaine's question. Thank you.
so Elaine, in the dispatch center, we dispatch by discipline. So we have a dispatcher who focuses on county law, which is your state police, your sheriff's office, your probation, your parole, your park police, any of those county agencies. Then we have a dispatcher who is specific to city police. And that's strictly for just Auburn City Police. Then we have another one who focuses on fire and EMS, and that's all of your fire dispatch, which is your Auburn City and all of your county volunteer fire departments in the community. So they sit different dispatch positions each shift, and they have to learn all of them as part of their position. The
Yes.
fire
as the calls come in, they're routed to the right person?
So as the calls come in, anybody can pick up the phone. And then depending on what the call is, it's all based on call nature. It will push that call over to the screen of the appropriate dispatcher.
All right. And the fire
It-
dispatching is difficult and challenging and
It is. They all have their own little nuances, but fire, there's just so many different facets of it and so many different things to learn and understand that it definitely takes more time.
Okay.
I would say it's probably like a 1-to-3 ratio as far as a month of law and 3 months of fire. So somebody who takes 2 months on law might take 4 to 6 months on fire, just because there's a lot to learn with fire.
all right, thanks. I was just not, I was not understanding what you were referring to.
Any other questions or concerns with Ms. Penguin? Okay, thanks Denise, appreciate it very much.
No problem.
Hotchkiss, sign council, you're up next.
Thank you, Sharon. Good evening, committee. You've got my written report. Just a couple of highlights. I think every month they talk a lot about the centralized arraignment at public safety building. To date, we've had 677 arraignments. But I also want to talk a little bit about the arraignments that we do countywide beyond just the public safety building. We have an attorney on call every day, Monday through Friday for Auburn City Court. And we have attorneys available in town court for those that are given appearance tickets. And they have to come before the judge for their appearance ticket. So that appearance ticket didn't warrant going to a centralized arraignment. It just warranted going to a local justice of the peace. So we also supply an attorney at the local justice courts. And year to date, we've had almost 800, over 800 of those appearances. So in total, whether you're rich or poor, it doesn't matter. When you're before a judge, you're going to have legal representation. And we've done almost 1,500 of those for the year. So I often talk about CAP, but it goes well beyond just a centralized arraignment. That anybody that's arrested or given an appearance ticket, if you are before a CAP court judge or a local magistrate, you're going to have a defense attorney represent you for your initial appearance. That's when you fill out the application for assigned counsel, and that's when my office will jump in and qualify you as to whether you get to go to the next step or not with a court-appointed attorney. The second, I'm sorry, Edie.
Yeah, that's a good question on that part.
Sure.
So, I mean, if like an 18-year-old kid gets an appearance ticket for doing something stupid, disorderly conduct, I might know something about it. He automatically gets a lawyer when he shows up for that appearance ticket.
So when he goes to IRA before Judge Owen, yes, before the judge can arraign him on that ticket, appearance ticket, there will be an attorney there to represent him at the initial appearance.
We never did.
I was gonna say.
I went by myself.
Yeah, I think that most of us did. And the second thing is I'm excited. On Monday, we bring in Attorney John Price, per your resolution of hiring a supervising attorney. John will help my office incredibly because of the workload. A lot of it will go now to John and myself. We continue. IT's been over to set him up. He goes through orientation Monday, so I'm excited about having him on board. And I'll bring him with us, with me at our next committee meeting. Any questions or concerns?
Of your report?
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about the Cayuga County is one of the 6 counties selected for the study, what that you're referring to?
We were one of the reports, pretty well written. It's not identified as Cayuga County. They have another name for it. It's Bleak County. And the reason for it is the one of the professors, Professor Warden from Albany, who was originally from Auburn, had stopped down in Prison City and saw that there was a beer named after the Warden beer. It's a long story, but we were one of the counties selected by Albany, and as well as Southern Methodist University of Texas is the Gideon Project to look at bail reform and to also look at the infusion of money that are going to all the assigned counsel programs in New York State, and looking at are we really making a difference with the infusion of money? And they're looking at data before, like from 2017 and 2018, and then they're going to come back and look at data from 2022 and 23 to see if there's a difference.
Like, was that Southern Methodist?
Southern Southern Methodist University of Texas. Thank you.
To look at what impact bail reform has had on the community in terms of recidivism,
Yep.
release.
They're looking at how many days between
Yep.
arrest and how many days before the first court appearance. And I mean, they're looking at all this data, which is really.
Wow.
Trish, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was just interested in that. And what is the time frame on the study? When can we expect to see?
The Albany study is almost done. I think they have one other county. I guess it's public. They're going to Ontario County, there's like 2 rural counties. And Ontario is the final one.
And how will the results be presented? Are they going to be shared with the state representatives?
I intend, our first meeting is they'll present to, I'd like to have it presented to the local magistrates meeting. They have a monthly meeting, probably present that to the local magistrates. And then they're more than happy to share the data, and if we can find time, maybe have them come and do a highlight to the Judiciary Committee.
Be acceptable.
Yeah.
Mr. Dennis,
You may not have the answer to this, but with this, what we're talking about and all this assigned counsel for everyone and all that, I mean, it's obviously state money that's doing this. How do we compare it to? I mean, how much money are we getting and how does that compare to other counties that are big air size?
We just got that all the monies, we just got that email to us the other day. I forget the dollar amount.
That's why you can get it next month or something.
Yeah, it has a listing of all the counties and all our dollar amounts. I don't know what criteria they use it, whether it's based on population or arrest data. I really don't know the answer on how we get to those levels.
any other questions for Mr. Hodges? Okay, Lloyd, thank you very much for
Thank you.
your report, sir. Just a quick reminder, there is a public hearing on the shared services. Again, the phone number 315-294-8051. With that, Mr. Dr. Adam Duckett, is he? Huh?
I see.
Not here. Okay, he did put no updates on his report. Next up is Antonacci, District Attorney.
Good evening, everyone. I don't have any significant updates, but we are busy. We have several jury trials coming up over the next month. For anyone who doesn't know, jury trials are open to the public, so if anyone wants to come watch, I think it's a great learning experience. And you're more than welcome to. So we have one next week in City Court, and then one December 5th up in County Court. So everyone's welcome. I'm excited to hear from Lloyd that we're actually included in that study. I think it'll be great to have some data down the road on bail reform. I think we can all tell you how we feel, you know, the people in the trenches feel, but it'll be great to have some data. So I'm excited about that. Other than that, I don't have any resolutions. So any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right, moving on. Mr. Riley Shirtliff for the first time.
Evening, everyone. Please be gentle as we are. Just touching on some highlights. First, I do want to say I have no resolutions to present this evening. We'll see 4 resolutions in January at the start of the new fiscal year for grants that were received. We've had a little over $220,000 through 4 grants that the office was successful, one in cooperation with the sheriff's office as well. Underneath my report, as you can see in front of you, we've had some brief updates and some meetings in the last few weeks. As the phrase goes, we're drinking from the fire hose. We're going down through and meeting the Public Safety Training Center, also known as the Fire Tower. As I was discussing prior to the start of the meeting, if anyone is curious or would like to schedule a walkthrough of the existing facility and try to better understand the deficits that we're facing as it pertains to this facility and what it also means to shared services within the county. This is a unique center that, by being centrally located, is used by every fire department within the county. We want to continue to support that. So if anyone is interested in perhaps scheduling something or talking to me in further detail, from my office in further detail, please get a hold of me. We're continuing to be involved in the COOP. I do also want to give a shout out to Shreen on that. She's definitely been helping our office helm that and try and get that updated throughout the county. We've seen some updates related to our new scene support vehicle. It's going to be, as you can tell, a little over a year, probably closer to a year and a half before we see that arrive. That was approved through ARPA funding, so that is hugely appreciated. You'll also see that as scheduling allows, we're looking at getting our storm ready certification returned or renewed, and we're hopefully going to have office members from either the Buffalo or Binghamton office come and present a presentation. Does anyone have any questions for me at this time?
I just got a quick one, because I'm a little confused. Grants you talk about, they're already accepted, but resolution for January, or are they for next year?
The performance period will be through next year. There's no plans currently for extending them in the remainder of 2022. So resolutions to accept them will be on the docket for January next year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Are you waiting for some kind of architectural design? Is that in the works? Is that?
That will be the next step through Bergman and Associates. Now that we receive the negative core samples related to any environmental impact or prior environmental
So
impact.
that hasn't happened until you got those results.
Correct.
Okay,
We
all right.
had an initial consult on the 18th with myself, Barry Sherman is the deputy director, and Travis Poole is one of our fire coordinators, related to the features we'd like to see this building include, be it a bare minimum, but also what we need to have to retain certification approval through the Office of Fire Prevention and Control. And so now that they have our quote unquote wish list, they're supposed to present an initial design concept back to us within the next 30 days.
Anybody else for Riley? Hearing none. Riley, thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Okay, next up, J.D. West-Belair from probation. Is he here?
Good evening, John Murley, Probation Department Supervisor, sitting in for Director D. West-Belair. I believe you all have the written report that Director D. West-Belair submitted, but just a few highlights. On Monday, a new probation officer started. That's the first time the department's sworn staff's been up to full strength since March. We're going to have a lot of retirements coming up in the next year or two, so we're going to be sitting the civil service tests for probation officer, senior probation officer, and probation supervisor in the spring, since all previous lists were depleted or exhausted. Some other highlights, staff training has been completed for 2021. Annual training modules included firearms, OC spray, expandable baton, undercover and off-duty incidents, handcuffing, radio protocol, and use of force. Additionally, all modules required by the county's annual in-service training program have been completed as well. Any questions?
Questions? Sir, you have one resolution for the evening, it's the J4. It's the authorization to fill a senior typist title for county probation department. Anybody would you like to expand on that? Anybody got any questions about that? Let's, yeah, I need a motion. I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Go ahead, Jim.
When it says fill, it's a budgeted position. You've
I
don't know if you
you've
heard.
asked that if they're budgeted positions, that they note it, what line item and whatever, so you don't have to ask.
Lynn,
It is noted in the resolution.
What does it say, Heidi, in the resolution?
It's the.
The position is budgeted for the remainder of 2022 and 2023. It was created by a resignation.
Okay, that's all.
Any other questions, discussion on J4?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, next up would be the sheriff, Shank, or Sheriff Shank, I should say.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I did submit my report. I don't have any further updates, but I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any relative to that or anything else.
You have 4 resolutions. sir.
Anybody I can move as a bundle? Anybody want to do that?
I have a motion to bundle JP 5, 6, 7, and 8. I would need a second. I have a second. Any discussion?
So where's this 7 put us, Brian? As far as the number you need to be at.
Right.
No, I mean, where does the 7 vacant to fill the 7?
So currently, we're actually down 8 positions now. We had a resignation today. But these 7 positions, plus I'll be coming with another resolution in the future for the position we lost today. That'll put us back at our full staffing level for the jail. These 7 positions were already approved prior resolutions, but they expired just due to the fact we haven't been able to fill them. So I had to come back to update it. I just put them all together in one resolution.
So there's part B of my question. Do we have? Needs to look like we're gonna be able to get it filled.
We have a physical agility test for the new list that has been established on November 19th. So I'm very hopeful that we can, I don't know that we're going to get 7 people off of that list because I think we only had 20 take the test. But some good news that I can add along with that topic. The state chose us to participate in a pilot program for our custody division, along with just a few other counties. They're looking at a new system or a new process to establish eligible lists, not using an actual test, but looking at experience, training, and the background of individuals that are interested in the position. So in December and January, we're going to have the ability to hopefully establish a new list with some additional folks that won't have to take the test, but they can apply between now and the end of November. And then during December and January, they will fill out a questionnaire. And then somehow the state's going to rank their training and experience and put them on a list. And I'm very hopeful that works well for us and we'll be able to fill these positions. But long story short, we will have the physical agility test on the 19th. Hopefully we'll have some eligible people from that test, and then we'll move on with the pilot program and hopefully fill out the balance of any other positions.
I have a question. We put them all together, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question on 7. It looks like you're asking to appoint the salary for the new undersheriff, and you're bringing the resolution forward because it's staying a grade 6, but you're asking for authorization to fill above the higher band. Is that how this is reading?
That's correct.
This 85,000, which I guess is currently the salary of the current undersheriff, I heard. But I mean, how much over the higher band is this?
I do have that here somewhere. So I know that I have the hiring bands as they were initially adopted. I know that the legislature did approve a raise on top of those hiring bands, so I don't have the exact figure. But as they were initially adopted from August of 2021, the grade 6 hiring band was set at 69,000 to 80,000. The grade 7 was set from 82,8 and 82,824 to 95,501.
Brian, this is Len. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
The top of the band is now $82,000, the grade 6.
Okay, that's with the increases that were, I mean, that's what I'm trying to understand. This
Yeah.
is, okay.
I didn't have that full amount with the increase that was added after this was put in place.
And the case you're probably making is this is currently in your budget for next year, as well as you're getting an experienced law enforcement official to, is that?
That's correct. We have a very good opportunity to bring somebody here with a wealth of experience leading an accredited agency. So I think it's certainly an appropriate salary.
And then just the confidential secretary that has been regraded to grade 2, and you're hoping to get it. I know Diane's gonna be looking at all of these higher bands again fully in 2024. But you asked her to relook at the position and the grade moved from 1 to 2.
I did. So the month before last, you approved a resolution for me to fill that position at the grade 1 where it's set. I did put that out there and advertise that, but we haven't gotten a good candidate for that position at that salary range. I am looking to move that to a grade 2. And actually, the secretary that did hold that position prior to just leaving was actually in the middle of that grade 2 pay band when she left. She'd only been with us a year and a half. So that was one of those salaries with these pay bands that was just set way too low in
I
a
know
grade 1.
the grades 1 and 2, we had to get relooked at.
They
Yeah.
definitely need to be adjusted. They've created some challenges for other department heads, and I know this has been done with the confidential secretary position in another department because of the same, I believe, the same challenge that we're having. But so I'm not looking to increase what's budgeted based on what we were paying the previous person. I'm just looking to try to get that back to that salary so I can recruit somebody that's qualified for the job description.
And we did talk about any time a position becomes vacant, that's the opportunity to relook at it and relook at those. So, okay, just was.
And I did try to recruit at the grade 1 after getting that approved resolution, but it's just, I can't get a qualified candidate at that salary.
Anybody else have any questions about JP 5, 6, 7? Okay, Sheriff. Hearing none, all in favor? Any opposed? Carried. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, it looks like it is 6
Congratulations,
o'clock
Sheriff.
by the clock on the chair. So at this time, I would like to close the public hearing. You got way too fast, sir.
I don't know why we have lots of chairs.
I don't know, they're not on the wall where they usually are. Okay, so at 6 o'clock, we will close the public hearing on shared service. We didn't get any phone calls. So that portion is done. Next up on the list was a tabled resolution from last month. And I've been asked to pull that by the chairman and some other folks. So that resolution will be pulled until there's 2 JP4s. I know that sounds a little confusing, but the one that I'm
We
pulling
did the
right now
senior
is
type test.
tabled resolution JP4 from last month. Right. Okay. With that, I only would like to end the meeting with congratulations to Sheriff Shane, District Attorney Antonacci, and Coroner Dr. Duckett on their election wins yesterday. Congratulations all. And with that, I will accept now you can speak as they say. I have a motion to adjourn. Benson seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Thank you very much, Bill.
Mr. Chairman, just a word that the next meeting, it's usually later in the month, but December 7th is the next public safety.
December
So
7th.
put it on your calendars.
All right.
Don't get it mixed up.
I guess Mr. Dietrich would be up whenever you feel like.
ASAP, 5 minutes or so.
2 minutes, did you say, Chris?
Yeah. So I guess,
Everybody's moving fast.
Just gotta be good for kids. So,
Yeah, good night. What are you doing?
Man, I'll tell you, rough night last night.
Okay, just so you know, I've unmuted Chambers.
Everybody,
I'd like to-
everybody, Chambers is not
You
muted.
did, you're welcome.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta be careful, it's unmuted.
Yeah.
What's going on? It's unmuted.
Okay. Why don't we get started since we're unmuted? Unmuted.
It's a moot point.
So Aileen should be in the room. She has to, do something with her children. I believe we have, a quorum. Yes, we do. So, call the meeting to order. Obviously, I already said that, no clocks on the walls. 6:10. At this time, I'll entertain that was not weird. No, it wasn't. Sorry about that. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion for the minutes. Move it. Second. Motion in a second. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. All right, I imagine, hey, Sarah, yeah, okay. I said you'd be here. So probably Katie and Cheryl are busy, I'm guessing. And they're not here, so they gave us our report. We all saw the, the election yesterday. I think we had some snags with the electronic poll books, but the commissioners addressed it, and we're working through it. So any questions, if you can go on and reach out to them directly, you can ask me and I'll get to them. But once again, I wanted to say goodbye to Katie and Cheryl. I'm gonna miss them tremendously. I think the county's gonna miss them. And so, and we look forward to working with the new commissioners. Sheila is not here. I believe she told me she has some stuff to take care of. And she said that Amanda would be on, obviously. Well, again, hey, Amanda, do you have anything you want to add in addition to the report?
Nothing to add. She has, or there's several resolutions underneath the clerk of the legislature, but there is Brian Soper is on to speak to some of the policies that are under him, and so is Gary Duckett. So if you want to wait to take those on, that's whatever you want to do.
Okay, yeah, I think we'll just address them in a minute.
All right.
Unless anybody wants to get them out of the way now. All right, we'll go for it. We'll go through the, so Mr. Palermo, Chris, are you handling this one or Fred? What's the?
Fred.
Okay.
We have nothing to report.
I thought. Pleasure doing business with you guys.
I would like to add to that. Dave Hargis said it before. We've really been making a big effort to convert everything that we do to electronic format. IT great with Google files, working wonderfully. Now I'm just trying to get permission set up to some of the other people within the county, the legislature, primarily, so they can pull up contracts. that we have executed, the auditor.
All right.
Well, chair secretary, I'm not gonna inflict that punishment on the chair, but secretary, I think, you know what, is fine. That's it.
All right, thanks. Sue? Coming clear. No update, but is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that we did get our pilot project out today, 150 boxes, the first the documents that'll be digitized, so it felt really good. We took pictures of it and everything, and and Buildings and Grounds helped us too, so that was great. Good to get out. And we're getting a lot of money already on our electronic records, online records, and that amount keeps going up. We're paid quarterly for it. So at this point, I think we're at year to date, 43,402. So the more we put online, the more money that we'll get for it. I'm going around talking to seniors and Those are the easiest groups to get to about the new domestic travel requirements that I sound like a parrot every month when I come here, but did up a sheet, putting in them in DMV and just summarizing the options people have so they're travel ready. We've seen a great big uptick in passports. We're doing them by appointment only, but if they come in and our appointments aren't filled, we take them, and if they're renewals, they don't need an appointment. We help them, and then they have to go to the post office and mail it. So that's good. And I think that's about it. We're still doing a lot of research in the historian's office, and DMV is getting a lot of people there. So we're getting a lot of mail too, while the mail is being sent to us again, where it wasn't before. The state was doing some of that, and they knew that there was a delay. They were delaying all they couldn't keep up, in other words. So we're doing that again. And it's pretty busy. So, and people are coming in and getting enhanced driver's licenses. That's a big one, in the real ID. So anybody have any questions?
Yes.
Is the information that you put together for the seniors, for example, available online?
I just finished it today. I updated it because there was a change. So that's a great point. I'll put it online. I'll put it on our website for sure. Yeah.
Any further questions for Sue?
Oh, I will say too, last month, Kevin Swab and I partnered and put out a press release about how we give veterans file their DD 214s, their discharge papers for free. And this other company was kind of scamming people. They charged $25 for the veterans. And any county clerk that did that, they sent them a warning. This company sent a warning that they are not scamming people. They're actually doing them a favor by helping them. And they want us to retract it. And I haven't shown this to any attorney yet, but other county clerks are saying they've checked out the Better Business Bureau. They think they have a good rating. They don't. People keep complaining about them, but nothing happens. So I'm pretty sure we're not going to retract anything we put out to help the veterans. So I just wanted to make note of that. Thank you for that.
Thank you. All right, so you have one resolution, this time I'll take a motion and a second for discussion. A motion by Mr. Patcher,
Second for discussion.
second by Ms. McMahon Coleman. So do you want to talk about this a little bit?
Yep. As we're changing to all digital instead of paper and working with a SaaS and cloud-based system eventually, then the duties of the two people in there, the three people actually, but we're doing the two people right now, have drastically changed, and they will continue to change. I think some people think that once we're done with all of the records being sent out, all the work is going to be done. It's not true. They're going to still have to support the system. Every department in the county is going to be using it. So that in itself is going to be a challenge. So their whole thing, they used to deal with paper and people calling up and asking for records. Now they're the ones who put together the pilot, all three of them over there, put together the whole pilot system today that went out. And we had to have quality control boxes in there too, to make sure they come back to us so we can test them and make sure all the documentation is there. So it's just different. It's more technical. So they're going to be changed from a grade 4 to a grade 9. They've got a lot of experience. It's not that much difference of money either. So.
Hold on. First, there's a few questions, but first, Fred wanted to.
Just by way of explanation, you'll notice that there are some blanks in the resolution having to do with the money. Assuming this passes, those will be filled out for Ways and Means.
Thank you. All right, so.
And can I say one more thing? I just want you to know, before I came before you tonight, this has been through Civil Service Commission. This is multiple layers of paperwork provided. And I'm just saying, it took a lot of work to get here tonight, and it's not just like I'm asking tonight and drew up a resolution. I have a lot of documents behind it.
Understood. So we'll start with the questions.
Somebody else.
Was there? I don't know. I drew the first one I saw, but
Okay,
sorry, I
So,
apologize if somebody was.
the blanks are pretty important for me to look at.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm really curious about what the money is going to be. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I am really not comfortable voting on movement of staff or additional salaries over between the budgets. We have the budget to look at for next year. So this is something that I'm curious as to why it's coming about right now.
Started in July,
What started in July?
this process.
Okay, so
This is how long sometimes it takes to get through all of this. Yes, mentioned it in July. How do I start doing this? Because they were definitely doing a lot of things that they have never done that were not in their job description. So that's when we started saying, okay, you got to do a long form of the new position duty statement and then a couple other steps. And it just took that long. Then the commission had, they were supposed to be ready 1 month, but they weren't ready until the next month. But my paperwork was ready, just so you know. But it is a long, it's not easily made decision. I understand that. And it's just so it's landing here right now because of that.
Okay,
I guess my concerns,
you're good.
my concerns are really the same as probably legislator Cam Coleman's here. And I'm just curious, the Civil Service Commission said we're gonna go from a 4 to a 9.
Right, but if you look at the amounts in that resolution about what that means there. So the grade 4 was 36,712 at probation to 39,333. Grade 9 is 39,192. Step 4 is 42. If I had to hire somebody for these positions today, there's no way in the world they're going to go for that grade 4. I couldn't hire people like that. I can't hire people to do even more simpler things at that amount. So it's not a big jump, even though it's grade 4 to grade 9. Like I just heard with the sheriff, it's grade 1 to 2. It's different for these kinds of positions. If you look at the numbers, I think somebody can come up with how much extra is that?
Trish.
I had the same question in terms of why now versus addressing it in the budget process.
Yeah.
And you gave an interesting answer.
I'm not kidding you. I can show you emails.
But I just wanted to ask you, Civil Service Commission determined that these individuals are now working out of title.
That is probably a better question for Diane. I mean, I don't think I can answer that, but I don't even want to go there. It's not fair for me to say it.
I'll get to you, Mark.
All right, thank you.
Am I correct in understanding you that, so top of the pay grade was 39,333?
Yes.
And top of the new pay grade would be 42,000?
Absolutely.
So we're discussing 2,000.
And the job description is very different than what it was. I mean, there is paperwork behind that it's very clear. These people are now focused on digital, giving people permissions. Everything is going to be digital and different, and it's a lot more technical than what they used to do. Let me put it that way. And they have done a fantastic job.
Yes, Mark.
I guess my question is, did they, in the budget that we're currently working on, did they budget for the 9 instead of the 4?
Not that I know of. Lynn,
I
we
see it.
talked about it at our budget meeting. But because it wasn't done, we didn't have those numbers to plug in. So I don't know if Lynn could even address that. Not sure, Lynn.
No, they were not changed in the budget.
I think a suggestion, table to Ways and Means, so we have.
So we have a. I'm
I'm
assuming-
gonna make that a motion.
Yes,
I'll second the table.
all right, we have a motion and a second.
Oh, wait a minute. I cannot.
Oh,
Okay,
Thank you.
Sounded
Sorry,
good.
Sorry.
Can I request what is it here that you need? Because if I have to give you something, I'm gonna be sure what it is. I'm gonna be clear on that.
can we hold on to make sure that we're gonna go that route? So we have a motion. Is there a second to table?
I'll second.
All right, so there's a motion. Is there discussion on the motion to table?
I would like to see the completed resolution.
Discussion.
I'm sorry, was there, are we supposed to have discussion?
Discussion on the table?
Maybe not.
All
No.
right, no? All right, all in favor of table? I'll go
Thank you.
maybe.
Rob.
Can I just say something before you do that?
Sure.
Okay. So I understood that tonight was voting on the whole idea of it, and that the numbers would not be voted on until Ways and Means. Is that correct?
Um,
Who asked that question? Who answered that question?
I don't
would
know.
say it's, I would say that it's not protocol. We always have these numbers in front of us at committee. Goes to Ways and Means with those numbers.
Can anybody save me here? Because this is what I heard.
I can't say so.
Can we ask Chris or Fred? I mean, that would be a.
Happy to
I don't know.
respond. Tabling to another committee. We can only table to your own, so you can table it, that's fine. Refer it to. Rules of order, call it, Earl. Refer it to another committee. Ways and Means will get it anyway, and I don't know if they will consider it without having it passed by the oversight committee. I don't know.
All right, so
There's a
let's
motion
vote on
on
the
the floor.
motion.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
There's a motion on the floor. Okay,
Right.
right, but you really can't, Mr. Palermo said you really can't table to Ways and Means.
I thought she just did the motion, so I assume when we just did the motion to table, that would send it back to committee. The original one. Here, I thought that was your intention.
I said we can talk about it at Ways and Means.
If I could interject, it looks as if this resolution is not complete. So it technically should just be marked draft anyways, in which we wouldn't really move and motion a draft resolution. It's incomplete. There's no numbers filled in here.
I'm very sensitive to it because we started this in July and now it just seems like, oh, well, maybe we'll wait till next month. It's, these are people doing work.
What, I guess I'd like, some input from council on the last piece in terms.
Who approved it, you mean, to get on?
No, I want to know, is it a fatal error for it to be not have the data in it? I guess that's what is being put forward.
So you could approve it in concept, but I'm not sure you're at that, not sure that everybody's at that point because it's incomplete. That's the read I'm getting. So one avenue would be to let the information get filled in and then send it out to Ways and Means. And then have them consider it.
All right, we'll go with Lydia then, Amy.
I have a question in support of what Sue just asked. What happened, why, and can we fix it right here?
I don't know if anybody has the information to fix it right here.
Who fills in those numbers in a resolution? That's not what we do.
Usually process typically is, it comes from the department head, the data in there.
Right.
It gets reviewed by finance, legal, and the budget officer, but there was no data in here to look at.
There is data in there. There was a data with all the supporting documents that I have. There's numbers in there. There they are.
But we don't know the information here.
Okay.
My question is, why did we allow this to come through and why didn't
I know.
the set of eyes that could see this, bring it back to Sue to say, please give us whatever numbers you have in conjunction with Diane. It's not fair to you.
It is.
I
People.
I don't ever approve concepts. You vote on policies. So I will never sit and approve a concept or idea and let that go through a committee. I think, I guess after my time on the 7 years, I guess, but this is sort of these kind of little things have been coming up all year. It's, it's not very beneficial to the department head that this comes before this committee. And then during budget time, I think that everyone would know, it's sort of expect that we will be voting on positions and anything new during this section of time, so.
It'll be tabled to be corrected and then presented at the full ledge.
Well, I think, I don't want to speak on behalf of council, but I think any legislature has the right to bring forth legislation at the full legislature. So the short answer, I think, is yes. But I'm trying to pass this resolution, so what do we need to do to acquire the information necessary to get it done? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It does
So do
need to be
we-
now in the full ledge.
Do we need to,
Pass it back.
but we have also need to make sure that Waze is, comfortable with that. So are we going to Waze?
When in theory, the information could be obtained and filled in and available for Waze. Would you be bringing it up at Waze if it's completed, Mr. Chair?
Oh, absolutely. If the data is there, I would absolutely bring it forward at Waze. Whether the chairman of Waze entertains my motion, that's another story, but, Mr. Chair,
Yeah, can't this go back through the resolution team? I mean, that's why we have a resolution
That
team.
would be available till
That's
next
another
month.
month.
I think that there.
Why wouldn't it be available? Why can't they look at it with this coming week and bring it to Ways next?
I'm
Wait,
curious
tomorrow.
as to how many resolutions you get that aren't complete, that make it to this point, because this is the first I've heard of it.
Right.
And I hope that something can be done, that it can be complete. And if I don't have the information, I'll get it if it's up to me, but I seriously thought this was.
I think this is an easy fix. We just send it back. to the
doesn't seem to
resolution
be
team.
that, yeah.
Let them look at it, put the numbers in it and bring it next week. I don't see if it's that hard.
I'm comfortable doing that and I'll get the data
So
and
are
I'll
you
present it
pulling
at
it?
Waze.
Would you be,
So then we would need to amend our motion to table to a motion to defer to Ways and Means.
Second. Wait, does she have to change it? She made the motion.
there's a motion on the table to, I'm sorry, a motion on the floor to table.
To table
So that has to be voted on. Or
to this
withdrawn.
committee, so, all right.
be amended?
No, it can't be.
It can be
So
withdrawn.
table or not,
So
you
you
can
can, so
withdraw.
we can vote on the table or withdraw the table.
That's correct.
I
So-
will withdraw the table.
Outstanding. And does the second have to be withdrawn as well, or
What?
The second.
the second has that to be
Well,
withdrawn?
the motion's withdrawn, so let's.
Okay, so we're all good.
So
All right. So now we do a new motion to send 2 Ways with data necessary, correct?
Yeah.
To refer.
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 Referred to
I'll second
Ways
that.
with the completed data.
So
Is there
I
a second?
hesitate to ask. Is there? All in favor of sending it to Ways?
I,
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, sorry, I didn't get you, I would have got the discussion.
Completely.
Can I just get the opposed, please?
It's Tricia Kerr.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's essentially voting yes on that resolution.
It's sending it 2 ways with the correct completed, with that resolution completed in it.
Yeah, which we haven't seen, so I'm gonna be a no vote.
All right,
Just, can I get a clarification on it?
so the special ways is tomorrow, so this ways, no?
It's next Wednesday.
Okay,
The regular wage means.
so we're gonna send it to that one, correct?
That's,
Prefer, yes,
that's my understanding.
right.
And if I need to provide some information to get this completed, please let me know, whoever is in charge of that.
Well, wouldn't that be, let me ask the 2 attorneys, if Sue gets the information, gives it to the resolution board committee, that's what they're for, and put it in the resolution, and just bring it next month.
Right.
Once Sue has that information through Diane, and work with
I
Diane,
think they do have information.
they probably do.
Wouldn't it be budget information that she's looking for in terms of adding to the budget?
Well, it could be, but
I don't know how it got on.
Lynn's on the budget.
I don't know how it got on.
Lynn's on the resolution committee, so she could add to it when it goes to that committee. I don't know how.
Okay, so I think we got that squared away.
Thank
All right, and so I'll give you a ring and we'll,
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
All right,
I
but
appreciate
so
your
by-
patience.
by ways, so, all right. In the interest of expedience, we're moving on. Or saving me, depending on how you look at it. So, Tom, you're up.
Good evening. You have my report. The only thing I would like to expand on in terms of the work outlined in the report is our department's latest project we'll work on, which is our Office 365 migration. We've been really hard at work on that. We already implemented 4 departments over to Office 365 in terms of email, which is huge. We have 3 more departments targeted for the end of this week. So we're very excited, and we're hopeful to have the whole county moving over to this platform, hopefully by the beginning of December. So as far as my update goes, that's pretty much it. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Any questions, Mr. Chair?
Just a comment, I mean, with the 3 screens in here, it works perfectly fine. I mean, the 2 are great, but how that one looks, so people over here can see that, it looks great. Thank you.
All right, any further questions? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have 2 resolutions.
The ones under, okay, 13 and 15,
Yes.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So we'll take them one at a time. What was number 13? Got a motion in a second. Discussion on 13. All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, 15 looks like it's gonna require a 2/3 vote, but that's not committee, that'll be on the floor. I'll entertain a motion. Open. Motion and a second. Any discussion on the budget transfer? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
That went easy. So, next, I believe we can move into, Mr. Schwab. Is he on, Kevin? Yes. He has 1 resolution, but no updates.
Yeah, I got caught up. I appreciate all the support on that late resolution for the veterans event. I did not realize it had to come to the legislature. I thought it was just a contract, my inexperience, but I appreciate the support, and we are moving along with that. We have gotten some good replies of people who want to attend the information session, not quite as many as I would like, but people just don't RSVP these days. And so I'm hoping that we'll have a few more that will actually show up. And I am also the guest speaker for the Veterans Day ceremony. And as long as the weather holds, we should have a good turnout there. And during that, I will say, after the ceremony, come over to the YMCA for some refreshments and some information about veteran benefits. So that's my intent with that event coming up in 2 days. And I appreciate, as I said, I'd like to appreciate the support. The resolution I have is I have found that during my time finding a part-time drivers to keep the bus running is a challenge. And so I wanted to get this one in early to authorize to fill the 2 positions. They're both filled right now, but I have one driver that leaves to go back to Florida in January. And so I am going to have to advertise to try and get that filled for when he leaves in January. I still have a driver who's out on a medical condition. He had a stroke earlier this year. And my other driver, I had an issue actually yesterday, and I ended up driving the bus back from Syracuse. And so this is a preemptive authorization so I can advertise. And as soon as those positions are vacated, or I know they're going to be vacated, hopefully have some applications to fill them.
I'll move GO14.
A motion and a second on GO14, that's authorization. to Fill 2 part-time drivers. Any discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any other questions for Mr. Swab? Hearing none, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a ton of resolutions left. The Cayuga Community College, is there any representative?
I am. I'm here. Hi, everyone. Kelly Albrecht, CFO from the college. This resolution is, we are asking for you to support a $460,000 state matching funds. 100,000 is from a donation and 360 will be using our own HERF, Higher Education Emergency Relief Funds. SUNY needs your approval for them to match these funds for us. And this is for Workforce Development Project.
So I'll entertain a motion at this time for GO2.
I'll second.
All right, a motion and a second. Discussion on GO2. Hearing none.
Just to clarify,
Okay.
this is, doesn't take any more funds from the county, from the tax.
No,
Just less
no,
money.
it's just, we're using our HERF funds, which will expire in June of 23. And we received $100,000 donation towards the project. So SUNY will match that, but they just need your approval as our sponsor.
Just wanted to clarify for the public.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right,
Thank you, appreciate it.
thanks. So the county attorney has the video conferencing resolution that will be GO3. This time, I'll entertain.
Move it.
Have a
Second,
motion
Lydia.
and a second. Any discussion on the video conferencing? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, so we have all these, the policy amendments, and if necessary, everyone is here for a lengthy discussion and to answer your questions. However, I'll just throw it out there, if anyone is interested in bundling 4 through 12, that would certainly expedite the process. Who would?
Second, Lydia.
Okay, discussion?
I was going through the policies and I was gonna ask questions about, the deeper ear canal and how, I'm just.
How deep is the canal?
Sure. Well played.
There was diagrams and it was so thorough and I just love it, but I was gonna ask questions about it, but I will spare you all.
Well played. I love it. All right, other discussion or enlightening comments? Yes.
I was just wondering if how deep it is. Yeah, if somebody could just speak to what's changed in some of the whole these colors.
So I think, if I'm understanding this correctly, you need to choose a policy and then we can direct it from there.
Okay, I think anyone could answer.
So like, 'cause I think.
The fall protection policy, if anything.
So that it could be Gary.
Specifically.
Just so we know what's changed and what's been.
So I think, was it Gary? Yeah, Gary's on. So I think that one would, Gary would address that for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, these, all of these were changed, just the format was changed to meet the new format. There was no substance changes in them.
great.
Yes.
And as I understand it, Gary, the new format is simply getting out the expression county administrator.
Yes, getting out the county administrator and also the way they're actually set up on the page. Clerk of the legislature asked us to have it so they're more uniform. So they're more uniform, the way the page is set up.
So just to clarify, that's removing the title of county administrator, right? That's the point you were trying to make. Okay. Further discussion? On the bundle?
You know, I just wanted to caution this body for the future, if we ever had to reinstate county administrator or other such title. you can always revisit that.
Understood.
See if it's not impossible.
I understand, and I apologize, because I thought it was gonna be a snarky comment, actually, that's a legitimate. Yes,
For GO 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, I think are public works related. Can I ask Brian if the same thing is the case then? This is a word program formatting and eliminating the word administrator. County.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
two to be exact. Further discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I think that's everything. Because we did the veterans, right? So we're all set? Yeah, they were part of the law.
Part of the bundle, okay.
Yeah. So I think, unless there's any further discussion, I'll entertain a motion. Second. Motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.